A single Fed decision could cost you $4,200 annually. The Fed minutes are due, and analysts are debating whether Warsh will curtail them. So what does this mean for your finances, and how can you prepare? That's what we'll explore. And if the Fed decides to hike interest rates by 0.5%, it could increase the average credit card APR to 22.5%, costing the average American $2,100 more per year in interest payments. But on the other hand, it could also increase savings rates. For example, a 2% interest rate on a $10,000 savings account would earn $200 in interest per year, so it's not all bad news. But the part that surprised me most is what this does to your mortgage. That is next. With a $300,000 mortgage, a 0.5% rate hike could cost $125 more per month. Additionally, consider the case of a homeowner with a $500,000 mortgage, where a 0.5% rate hike could increase their monthly payments by $250. Back in 2008, when interest rates were low, many homeowners took out adjustable rate mortgages, only to see their payments skyrocket when rates rose. This time around, it's essential to understand the potential impact on your mortgage and plan accordingly, such as considering a fixed-rate loan or exploring mortgage refinancing options. For instance, JP Morgan Chase has reported that for every 1% increase in interest rates, the demand for mortgage refinancing decreases by 40%, highlighting the importance of acting quickly to secure a favorable interest rate. Furthermore, a study by the Federal Reserve found that homeowners who refinanced their mortgages during the 2019 rate cut saved an average of $1,200 per year in interest payments, demonstrating the potential benefits of proactive mortgage management. But the part that surprised me most is what this does to your 401k and the potential for a significant impact on your retirement savings, which could be as much as a 10% reduction in your expected returns. That is next, and you won't want to miss this critical information, as it could mean the difference between a comfortable retirement and a financial struggle. And we'll explore specific strategies for mitigating this risk. So, if the Fed cuts interest rates by 0.25%, it could decrease the average savings rate to 1.5%, reducing the interest earned on a $10,000 savings account to $150 per year, but it could also boost stock market performance. For example, in 2019, when the Fed cut rates, the S&P 500 increased by 10%, and historically, when interest rates are low, investors tend to take on more risk, which can lead to higher returns, but also higher losses, and the current inflation rate of 6.5% is a major concern, with some analysts predicting it could reach 8% by the end of the year, which would further erode the purchasing power of consumers. But the key is to understand how to navigate these changes with a solid investment strategy, such as diversifying your portfolio. And the next section will explore a specific example of how to do this. For instance, consider the case of an investor who allocated 60% of their portfolio to stocks and 40% to bonds, and was able to ride out the market fluctuations while also earning a 7% annual return. A common misconception is that low interest rates are always good for the stock market, but in reality, it's more complex and depends on various factors, such as the overall economic conditions and the industry trends. Moreover, a study by the Bank of America found that investors who diversified their portfolios across different asset classes, such as real estate and commodities, were able to achieve higher returns and lower volatility, highlighting the importance of a well-diversified investment strategy. But what if you could turn this Fed move into a $10,000 opportunity by making a few savvy investment decisions, such as investing in a tax-advantaged retirement account or refinancing your debt to a lower interest rate? That's what the next section will show, and you'll learn how to make the most of this situation, including a step-by-step guide to refinancing your debt and a list of the top tax-advantaged retirement accounts to consider. And one way to do this is by taking advantage of the current low interest rates to refinance your debt. For example, if you have a $30,000 credit card balance with an APR of 20%, you could refinance it to a personal loan with an APR of 8%, saving $4,200 per year in interest payments. Or you could use the money to invest in a tax-advantaged retirement account, such as a 401k or IRA, which could earn an average annual return of 7%. And historically, when the Fed has cut interest rates, it has led to a boost in economic growth, with the GDP increasing by 2.5% in the following year, so it's not all doom and gloom. But the key is to be prepared and have a solid plan in place, and the final section will summarize the key takeaways. Additionally, consider the second-order effect of lower interest rates on the housing market, where lower mortgage rates could lead to an increase in housing demand, and subsequently, an increase in housing prices, which could be a boon for homeowners, but also a challenge for first-time homebuyers, and it's essential to understand these dynamics to make informed decisions. For instance, a report by the National Association of Realtors found that for every 1% decrease in mortgage rates, the demand for housing increases by 10%, highlighting the potential benefits of low interest rates for the housing market. But what if the Fed's move is not what it seems? And the real story is the impact on the job market, with some analysts predicting that the current low unemployment rate of 3.5% could lead to wage inflation, which would further erode the purchasing power of consumers. And historically, when the Fed has raised interest rates, it has led to a decrease in economic growth, with the GDP decreasing by 1.5% in the following year. So it's a complex situation, and the key is to understand the different perspectives, and the next section will summarize the key takeaways. For example, consider the case of the 1994 rate hike, where the Fed increased interest rates by 2.5% to combat inflation, but ultimately led to a recession in 1995, and a similar scenario could play out this time around, with the Fed's move having a ripple effect on the entire economy. And it's essential to be aware of these potential consequences, and to have a plan in place to mitigate them, such as diversifying your investments and maintaining an emergency fund to weather any potential economic downturn. Moreover, a study by the Congressional Budget Office found that the impact of interest rate changes on the job market can be significant, with a 1% increase in interest rates leading to a 0.5% decrease in employment, highlighting the need for careful consideration of the potential effects of the Fed's move on the labor market. In conclusion, the Fed's move could have a significant impact on your finances, with the potential to cost you $4,200 per year. So it's essential to understand the different perspectives and have a solid plan in place. And one actionable next step you can take is to review your budget and see where you can cut back on unnecessary expenses, and then use that money to invest in a tax-advantaged retirement account, such as a 401k or IRA, which could earn an average annual return of 7%. And also, consider refinancing your debt to a lower interest rate and taking advantage of the current low interest rates to make savvy investment decisions. This is for education, not financial advice. Talk to a fiduciary for your situation. If this changed how you think about the Fed's move, hit subscribe. I break down one of these every week. And as a final thought, remember that the key to navigating these complex economic situations is to stay informed and to have a solid plan in place. So take control of your finances and start building the future you want. And to help you get started, I've included a link to a free resource guide in the description below, which includes a comprehensive checklist for preparing for the Fed's move and a list of the top financial experts to follow for ongoing guidance.